Welcome back. The time is now 5:34. This meeting is now in session. We're going to move on to agenda item number 4, review and discuss dates and times for budget workshops for the 2016-2017 fiscal year, revised budget, and the 2017-2018 fiscal year, proposed City of Alice budget. Ms. Lopez?
Mayor and council, what I would suggest would probably be most efficient and for the council to be able to address those departments that they have questions on. I am proposing that we start the process of setting aside workshops with the council in this same setting, but one-on-one with departments. We can start these as early as Wednesday. I would be able to post tomorrow for Wednesday. That would be the 16th, 17th, and 18th, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have a regular meeting scheduled on the 24th, and we also have the public hearing on the budget on the 24th. So these, I think, are very good days to start that conversation with department heads. I would like to get a feel from council as to, number one, would there be any opposition to having these during the day, during working hours?
Ms. Cynthia, you have opposition? No? Ms. Garza? I don't. Mr. Crisp?
Not a
No?
problem.
Ms. Moran?
No. You guys are awesome. All right. Then the second question is to get an understanding of if we can discuss which departments there seems to be the most questions on so that we could maybe focus on those first. So maybe we can start by process of elimination. Let's look at utilities, which is the fund that's healthy and doing well. That would be utility billing, metering, water plant, wastewater plant, maintenance and construction, and am I missing one department? Special projects. In that arena, are there very many questions from the council?
I don't really have for water.
Okay.
But we're not excluding them from.
No.
no,
What I'm
But we
trying
could
to
couple
do is,
that
yeah,
maybe with
Somebody
somebody else.
that has a
right.
lot that we need to look at.
Okay, so utilities. All right, then let's look at the ones where I think there may be a lot of questions. Are there a lot of questions when it pertains, and we touched a little on fire, but fire and police, does there seem to be any concern there with their operational budgets?
I think it'd be good to couple those two together
Okay.
for a one-on-one. I know we just got a good brief overview, and we're able to talk through some issues with the chief, but, you know, that is, you know, well over 50% of our budget.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make sure that we're utilizing the funds to the best of the ability, so I think
So
that'd be a good idea.
utility, water, and fire together?
What I would propose is perhaps doing, beginning at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, we can do we can post from 10 to 3.
Okay.
And what we will plan on doing is starting with fire and police. And then if you want to break for a break or for lunch or something, we can reconvene after that and work through the rest of them and then maybe add utilities on that day. And this would be Wednesday, August 16th, beginning at 10 a.m.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. The other area that seems to encompass a lot of our departments is community development. Because it's such a large umbrella. You have engineering under that umbrella. You have inspections, codes, parks, the multi-use center. That might be one animal in itself, so to speak. So perhaps looking at that on Thursday, the same time beginning at 10 in the morning and convening, you know, anytime thereafter that council feels is appropriate.
Okay.
Now, utilities actually, or water billing downstairs is actually closed on Thursdays, correct?
They had been
After lunch.
closing on Thursday afternoons in order to catch up on some projects that were behind. In discussions with Mr. Ramos, I think that's something that we may be doing away with now that we're caught
That's
up.
good.
That's
Good,
good.
good.
Yep.
We shouldn't inconvenience our citizens.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna suggest maybe moving them
Sure,
to
we
Thursday
can,
so that we're not pulling people out of that department on Wednesday. when-
That's actually a very good idea.
Yes,
Um,
since they are gonna be closed after lunch anyway, so maybe move that.
Put them in utilities.
Put them on Thursday.
Afternoon.
Yeah, with community development. Just because they're already not,
And-
they're not servicing the citizens at that
Sure.
time, so.
And then
Getting,
all the rest of us, which is administration, human resources, which will also encompass civil service, finance. Who's left? Is that the rest of us? Library. We can do on Friday.
Or should we take it to Wednesday since we have fire and police? Because we took out utility?
Deanna, this week, on Thursday, it is summertime. We're scheduling doctor appointments, things like that for our children. Thursday's already scheduled for my child. I would want to be the one there talking on utilities, so I would.
You asked that it
I would
goes
like
back to Wednesday?
Maybe go back at Wednesday, because if it's this week that we're looking at,
Okay.
Thursday, what's already been scheduled.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
fine with that if
I'm okay with
council's
that. I just,
and she's the one that will be.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the one we need, yeah.
Anna,
Yes, sir.
Public Works Operation.
Yeah. what
Yes,
happens? Public
um,
Works.
So then Wednesday we go back fire, police, and
Streets,
utility.
water.
Yes, if we can do, Wednesday, we'll do fire, police, and utilities.
Okay.
On Thursday, we can do community development and administration, library, and the smaller departments.
Okay.
And then look at Friday for public works operations. Victor, will that work? Good. And I think that encompasses all the departments. I think it is a good and efficient way to whittle through the budgets. And staff prepared that day to have their backup with them. And still gives us plenty of time between here and the adoption of our budget and the last workshop on the 7th. In closing, there were two things that I wanted to let council know. Number one was, as part of the proposed budget, there was a 15% reduction to the funding of health insurance, and those RFPs have gone out, and we are comfortable with that reduction, and we're also hoping that we will be able to equate that reduction to a reduction on dependent care as well. Those bids will be coming in on the 25th, and they'll be going to council in early September. We are coordinating already for open enrollment, and at that open enrollment will be the health clinics that we have with Christus Spawn, that we have every 6 months for biometric screenings and flu shots. And I seem like I've talked all day long, so.
Where did
is
the
there-
reductions, the 15% reductions come from?
Well, we are self-funded, and the reserve balance in our account is extremely healthy at this point. So I felt comfortable with a reduction such as that. As the bids come in for the ancillary products for dental, life, and vision, if they come in under target, it could be a greater reduction. But we certainly don't want to start to deplete that fund too quickly, because the premise of that trust fund is to be able to use the reserves specifically for health insurance. Smells like mint or spearmint. Ah, there you go.
Rolling.
So those funds can just,
Take some water rolling.
In the utility, is that where we're gonna be covering solid waste as well?
No, we can do solid waste with Public Works Operations.
Okay.
Although it's its own fund, they kind of go hand in hand with one another.
Okay,
Okay, and that will cover the recycle center as well.
good.
so we'll do airport, golf course, and multi-use with community development?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we don't have much going on this week.
No, sir, not at all.
Okay,
Are there
good. I look
any-
forward to the individual approach.
Just clarify on the insurance, you said that what we're saving has to go into a reserve for,
Yes, ma'am. When we went self-funded, we created a trust fund for our employees. It's a fiduciary trust in which there are specific criteria that we must follow. The monies in that reserve fund can only be used for employees and can only be used for employee-related health events. This is where the premise and the bid for an insurance consultant comes into play, so that they can further fine-tune those reserves, help with the funding, help with the decreases that the dependents will see, and offer more programs to our employees, like employee assistant programs and health programs, things of that nature.
okay.
We forgot municipal court.
Municipal court falls under finance,
Okay.
so when we do finance, we'll do grants as well.
Just some things that I will be asking questions on.
Yes, ma'am, now's a good time to let us know
Well,
so we can
So
gather.
that you can have time
Yes,
to
ma'am.
prepare. For municipal court, I'd like to see where we're at with our collections in fines.
Okay.
I'd like to see, and maybe this is for another meeting or so, but where are we with our collections with property taxes from Linebarger? I noticed that we haven't had them come down and talk to us in a long time, I think. So I'd like to have them come down and do a presentation to see what.
That would probably be something at a regular meeting, but we can coordinate with them. It's probably
because-
been a good, maybe year or more.
Yeah,
since
we'd
they've
like to
come
see
before
maybe
council.
some revenue come out of that as well.
By the same token,
Right.
do they handle, or who handles, maybe a future agenda item as well, is the mechanical liens for all these abandoned lots and so forth that we have to take care of? Because I know that we're talking, she's bringing up the abandoned, the
Community development.
overdeveloped, overdue property taxes, but mechanical liens fall in there, and we have had some things fall through the cracks
I
over the
believe,
last several years, so.
That
Community
particular
development.
company is supposed to be not only doing property taxes, but I believe they're supposed to be doing utility billing accounts that are in collections. Yeah, yeah.
Who is? I'm sorry?
Can we get a 30, 60, 90?
It's called a MVBA, McCreary, Basaka, and Wright.
So it's actually a separate company.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a separate company,
They
sorry.
handle what for us?
Maricela.
They handle the gathering of delinquent funds from individuals.
Delinquent accounts.
Past due
that were-
accounts.
Past due accounts that are closed.
Can we get a report as where we're at? I know.
Just like a 30, 60, 90, right?
Okay.
Whatever that is. It's like, just get a
What's
report
30
on
days, 60 days, 90
where we
days
are
past due,
with
and where
our.
we are
Yeah.
with collections.
Or past
Okay.
due collections, and where are we, I know, where are we with the collections for the county as well? Are we caught up with that? I know Yolanda was helping. Have we caught up? That was like a update on that.
And when you say county collections, do you
With
mean?
the water and with the rate, what do they have out there in, onto,
Yes, they pay us,
yes,
collect for them, and then Vanessa cuts them a check.
Mhm.
It's been up to date.
it is up to date?
Yeah, we take ours off the top, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we take our fees off the top before the check is turned over to the county.
And,
One more quick one
Yes, sir.
in regards to water. We're renegotiating the contracts
Yes.
with Benbolt
Yes.
and with Corpus Christi. Do we have, just maybe a projection of what we're looking, the differential might be there? Because I know we've been losing for quite a while when it comes to the sale of water to Benbolt, because that was a long-term contract. So there might be, just the differential there that what we'd be looking to gain back.
Okay.
And it's not going to be a positive, but it's not a loss anymore.
No.
So,
And I think
yeah.
the thing is to try and break even as much as possible.
Yes. Yes, and I think that's what Corpus Christi for the most part calls, is that you can't really make
can't
money off
make
of the
off
sale
money
of their
off the sale.
water, but there are things that goes into
What it's costing
our
us.
Our
sale of
costs.
their
Our
water. Yeah,
cost.
our cost, so, yeah.
And I guess just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Does EDC have to do any type of budget hearings and hold anything that with the city, in conjunction with the city or anything?
The city has not funded
We actually don't
EDC.
pay EDC.
Yeah,
I know
we
we
haven't
don't fund
funded
them, but-
EDC in some time, and I'm not familiar with what they are required to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can reach out and
We haven't
maybe
paid them
determine.
in years, and county
It's been
does
3
pay them.
years. Yeah,
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Prior councils.
I
we were
think they
funding-
elected to not participate. Wasn't there a resolution or an ordinance where the city?
we just
they
quit
just
funding
didn't
them.
quit funding?
Yeah.
Oh.
We quit funding them.
The city.
Well, but I'm a little confused. Is that that's a chapter 380 under the local government code that the city sets the sales tax? No?
No, I believe that, and you're going to have to forgive me, this is one of my weak areas.
maybe
The
I'll
EDC is not structured, the EDC that we
Mhm.
currently have is not structured under that same premise.
What's
Um,
it structured under?
That's the 4 years.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah,
We can't.
No.
we
You're
can't
not
do it.
structured under that?
no.
We can't.
No.
They're on their own.
So what are we structured under?
That's,
Contracted.
that's a
Tax.
question that you would need to get with their board of directors for them to be able to fully explain it to you. But
Okay.
it's not structured in the way that most EDCs are structured.
Interesting. Okay. I know Cynthia and I had a question about that.
I'd like to look more into that.
Explore that more. It is a sales tax that the cities, under the local government code,
I don't believe the
pass
EDC is a
is
taxing.
authorized to.
No, I don't
It's,
think.
they're not a
No,
taxing
it's-
They're
entity.
not a
Entity.
taxing.
They're not a
entity.
taxing
No, it's
entity.
not about a taxing entity. It's to set up an EDC under the 380.
Right, and it's not set up that way.
Right, that's why I'm
currently.
asking, how is it set up then?
I think that's crucial in
It's
moving out.
very crucial.
So we need to revisit that.
They're self-funding.
Oh, but they use our sales tax.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't.
They don't use our
They
sales
don't
tax.
use our sales tax.
No, we can
Where do they
do,
get their,
They're
They get their
self-funding.
funding from, it used to be that the city was contributing a portion and the county was contributing a portion, and with that, they were paying staff. 4 years ago, maybe 5, I don't know exactly, the city made the determination to quit funding, and I believe it was $50,000 a year.
And then it went down to 25,
And
I
they
think.
Yeah.
lost the director.
They stopped funding.
And maybe it just, I don't know.
Well, but EDC still has a director, but
Yes.
county pays, but city doesn't
So
pay them
the
for
city's
their
not contributing
services.
at this point, and
Right.
it's
City
not
does
in
not contribute
the
anything.
budget at this point either, so.
no,
No.
it's not out there.
EDC's on their own, and they don't take from the
Well,
city.
They're more of just a contract company as the EDC that we deal with, so. yeah.
They pay for their director and everything.
I want to say that at one point, and I could be completely wrong, I think they're structured under a 501 type of agreement, either B or C, I don't remember. But I can certainly look into it, and I can bring it to the council at a later date. And I know that some of you have asked that I reach out to them for them to come give a presentation, and perhaps at that opportunity, that juncture, would be the time for council to ask those questions.
And they have one coming to us on tax abatements. So they'll be presenting to us. Mhm.
Yeah, they're bringing an updated file that Judge and I had a conversation about it the other day, that we're going to get to see their presentation. And like we said, ours was fluid, so this could be really good. We'll see what happens.
This is made by their attorneys, and it's a really good one.
Mr. Crisp, are there any areas of concern that you want to address so that staff is ready with questions? Is there anything in particular? No?
Just hammer through them as we go through them.
Okay.
As they bring things up, questions pop into mind, so.
Very good.
Yeah, so.
Mayor?
Okay. No,
Ms. Garza? Ms. Carrasco?
I do have a.
Yes, ma'am.
Something I wanted to address. On your collections, you had said you were gonna budget based on a 95% collection. Where are we at currently? I know we were at, 92% just, and where are we currently
At the end of July, it was at exactly 92%.
Yeah.
at the end of July?
And we still need August and September. So looking back historically at the data that was there, we felt okay with a 94-95% collection rate on that, unless council feels differently, in which case we'd have to plug that in, take that scenario into account, and rework that calculation.
Because I want to make sure we're.
One of the other changes that was made, Vanessa, again, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, was there a time where proposed budgets were being presented with a 100% collection rate?
They were
Yeah.
being at 100%
would change it. So we felt this was a more
Yeah, I don't think that's
accurate,
smart. We won't
accurate
get it.
portrayal of where we needed to be. And since the tax rate is staying the same, it's not changing. If we're at 92% here, you know, we felt comfortable that 94-95% would probably be coming in.
I think that's smart.
What about bringing our financial advisor down? That's
Yes, ma'am.
critical.
As I
to
was, you might recall earlier, I was explaining she had some difficulties with staff. I actually emailed her this morning, and I wished her staff member well. And he was able to find a tow truck and take him home. He was stuck somewhere between Beeville and I don't remember where. But I asked her to please provide me with dates that she is available.
Hopefully before.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
She did say, I did talk to her scheduling assistant, and next week she was going to be out traveling with other towns, and they were going to look maybe at the following week.
Okay.
So it might be something that we might be able to do on the regular meeting of the 24th.
Okay.
Okay.
And I would probably suggest that presentation be done at a regular meeting instead of a budget workshop.
Because I do have questions regarding our debt payments and restructuring of debt and things like that.
Okay, absolutely.
Diana, do we
Yes, ma'am.
have what we turned in as far as when Mr. Vela calculated
The
with
actual,
the debt?
yes, ma'am, the numbers that went to him?
Is that something that we could look at and see what that was, or
They
just on the
handed it
debt?
out.
Yeah, I
We
think it
got
was
it at the
given
last
to
meeting.
you all.
The debts are, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am, at
that's
that
what he
meeting,
put
it
on
would have
the-
been the page where it talked about, we kept referring to the effect
I
of the
saw
revised.
that. I just
I can
didn't-
hand it to you, but it does show what is there for debt and what was there for, you know, everything else that equated to it. It looks like a package.
I did see that. I was I just wanted to see if there was like a breakdown
Mm,
instead of just
If I'm not mistaken,
it does on the back?
it was this
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll.
The
I'll
calculation
double
Really
check.
small.
worksheet or
The
what?
calculation worksheet
I'll
is where it'll
double
be
check it.
on.
Okay. Okay, and do you have what we collected on the last quarter, last year, where we were more or less?
Where we
to
were
cover
in
90?
June of 2000, I think we can actually pull that up. Mhm.
That's okay.
While they look that up, I just wanted to make a quick statement. I just want to commend staff real quick. I know that some of the decisions that we've recently made have made your jobs very hard, and I think everybody up here would agree with this statement. We've expected y'all to do a lot more with less. In the past, your salary's been cut, your positions have been cut, so there's less people doing more work. As it goes out in the field, we've talked about going from 16 to 8. You've got, Parks and Rec operating at a total of about 6 or 7 people.
6 or 7.
6 or 7 people right now, too. You've got Finance Department being cut back. You've got everybody being cut back, and we expect a lot from you guys. And y'all have really come through with what's been presented to us, and the fact that since Wednesday, when we decided to lay a heavy burden on your shoulders, you've been able to come with even more. So I really commend you guys. Thank you for the hard work y'all put in, and you'll never see any of us sit back and say that we feel our staff is overpaid. If anything, they're overworked. So thank you for that.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Into the end of July 2016, we were at 93.31% collection. And Sydney sent the July collections, and it was at 92, right? Flat, I think 92%.
And on a positive note, Texas State Comptroller has reported
Yep.
$490,000
That's correct.
in sales tax revenue is coming in. So there's another good boost for us.
Little increase.
We can't look at it as the end-all be-all of next results, but it's a good. There's some good things coming, and that's how we start eating away at things. So
That's
You
right.
eat the elephant one bite at a time.
that's right. One bite at a time.
Very good. Any other questions or comments, council? Ms. Cynthia, Ms. Garza, Ms. Moran?
No.
No? Okay. Agenda item number 5, adjourned and/or consider and act upon adjournment. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second that.
And all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
And no opposed. The time is now 5:59. We thank each of you for being with us today. And our meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
And I was afraid.